Moscow is the capital of Russia and the largest city in the country, with a population of over 12 million people. It is located on the Moscow River, which flows through the heart of the city. Moscow is one of the oldest cities in Russia, founded in 1147. The Kremlin, a historic fortress in the center of Moscow, is the official residence of the Russian president. Red Square is one of the most famous landmarks in Moscow, and it hosts several important historical buildings, including the St. Basil's Cathedral and the State Historical Museum. The Bolshoi Theatre is a world-renowned venue for ballet and opera and is considered one of the most famous theaters in the world. Moscow's metro system is one of the largest and busiest in the world, with over 12 million passengers using it daily. Moscow's metro stations are famous for their opulent designs, with many featuring chandeliers, marble walls, and statues. The Kremlin is not only a political center but also home to several historical buildings, including cathedrals, palaces, and the Tsar Bell, the largest bell in the world. Moscow is a cultural hub, with hundreds of museums, galleries, theaters, and cultural institutions. The Tretiakov Gallery is a major art museum in Moscow, housing the largest collection of Russian art in the world. Moscow State University is the highest-ranked university in Russia and one of the largest and most prestigious in the country. Moscow is known for its iconic architecture, ranging from historic cathedrals like St. Basil's to Soviet-era buildings like the Seven Sisters skyscrapers. Moscow has a continental climate, with cold winters and hot summers. The Moscow Kremlin is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and has served as the residence of Russian czars and leaders for centuries. Moscow is the center of Russian politics, home to the government and the Russian parliament. Moscow has a rich literary tradition, being home to famous Russian authors such as Leo Tolstoy, Fyodor Dostoevsky, and Anton Chekhov. The Moscow River has been an important waterway since the city's foundation, and the river is lined with parks, embankments, and boat tours. Moscow hosts many festivals throughout the year, including the Moscow International Film Festival and the Victory Day Parade, commemorating the end of World War II. Moscow's Zoom is one of the oldest and largest luxury department stores in Russia. The Moscow Zoo is one of the oldest in the country and is home to over 1,000 species of animals. Moscow's Gorky Park is a major recreational area, offering walking paths, bike rentals, and boat rides along the Moscow River. The Moscow State Circus is an iconic venue for world-class circus performances featuring acrobats, clowns, and animal acts. Moscow has more billionaires than any other city in the world, including New York and London. Moscow is famous for its vibrant nightlife, with numerous bars, clubs, and cafes that cater to both locals and tourists. The Moscow International Business Center is a modern district that features high-rise buildings, shopping malls, and offices. Moscow is known for its historical monuments, including the Lenin Mausoleum, where the embalmed body of Vladimir Lenin is displayed. The Pushkin State Museum of Fine Arts is one of Moscow's most significant museums, holding a large collection of Western European art. Moscow's streets are often divided into radial patterns, with main roads extending outward from the Kremlin. The Victory Park in Moscow honors those who fought in World War II and contains the Central Museum of the Great Patriotic War. Moscow is home to one of the largest and most prestigious theaters in the world, the Moscow Art Theatre, founded by Konstantin Stanislavski. The Moscow State Circus is a famous destination for international circus performances, offering world-class acts. The Tsar tank, a Soviet military vehicle, is an odd but fascinating relic of Russia's World War I history, and it can be seen in Moscow. Moscow has several beautiful parks, such as Kolomenskoye Park and Sokolniki Park, offering a peaceful escape from the city bustle. Moscow's shopping scene is top-tier, offering everything from luxury boutiques to street markets. The Russian State Library in Moscow is the largest library in Russia, housing millions of books and historical documents. Moscow is a center of Russian Orthodox Christianity, with many historic churches, such as Christ the Savior Cathedral, which was rebuilt after being demolished by Stalin. Moscow has many skyscrapers, including the famous Federation Tower and Vostok Tower, which contribute to its iconic skyline. Moscow has an extensive public transportation system, including buses, trams, and trolleybuses, in addition to the metro. Gorky Park is not only a recreational spot but also a cultural center, offering exhibitions, concerts, and open-air performances. Moscow's famous cuisine includes dishes like borscht, pelmeni, blini, and shchi. The Moscow City Hall is an important government building that oversees the city's administration. Moscow is home to the prestigious TASS news agency, which has been reporting news since 1904. The Moscow Kremlin museums include several galleries dedicated to Russian and European art and historical artifacts. Moscow's Red Square is not only historic but also a place for celebrations and national events, such as the May Day Parade. The Moscow International Arts Festival draws visitors from around the world for performances, exhibitions, and concerts. Moscow's weather can be extreme, with winters often dipping below freezing and summers regularly exceeding 30 degrees Celsius, 86 degrees Fahrenheit. The Museum of Cosmonautics in Moscow celebrates Russia's achievements in space exploration, featuring a range of exhibits and interactive displays. The Kremlin Armory is a treasure trove of royal artifacts, including coronation dresses, ceremonial weapons, and priceless Russian artifacts. Moscow is a leader in space science, with several major space-related institutions and museums located in the city. The VDNH complex hosts cultural exhibitions, including agricultural shows, trade fairs, and theme parks. Moscow is home to a rich classical music tradition, with world-renowned venues such as the Moscow Conservatory and the Moscow Philharmonic Orchestra. The Moscow Planetarium offers exhibitions and shows about space and astronomy. Moscow has numerous historical bridges over the Moscow River, including the famous Bolshoi Theatre Bridge. Moscow's economic dominance means it contributes a large portion of Russia's GDP, hosting both national and international corporations. The Hermitage Museum in Moscow is a branch of the famous St. Petersburg Museum, housing an impressive collection of art and artifacts. Moscow is a global financial center, with several stock exchanges, financial institutions, and banking headquarters. The Ostankino Tower is the tallest freestanding structure in Russia, offering panoramic views of Moscow. Moscow's luxury real estate market is among the most expensive in Europe. Moscow is famous for its literature, and you can visit the former homes of famous writers like Leo Tolstoy and Anton Chekhov. Moscow's Tverskaya Street is one of the most famous and busiest streets, lined with shops, restaurants, and cultural spots. The All-Russia Exhibition Center hosts cultural, agricultural, and technological exhibitions, and it's an important historical venue. Moscow's foreign embassies represent countries from around the globe, contributing to the city's international importance. The State Tretyakov Gallery is one of Russia's most important art collections, particularly focused on Russian artists. Moscow is home to several international events, including the Moscow International Book Fair and the Moscow Fashion Week. Moscow is a tech hub, with many IT companies and tech startups operating within the city. The Duma, Russia's federal legislative body, is based in Moscow, making the city a key political center in the country. The Izmailovsky Market is a popular destination for tourists, offering a range of Russian souvenirs, antiques, and handicrafts. Moscow has been the center of Russia's entertainment industry, hosting both Russian and international movie premieres. Moscow's Gorky Central Park has been restored as a modern urban space, offering activities such as biking, art installations, and festivals. Moscow is home to the Moscow International Business Center, a district filled with modern office towers and skyscrapers. The Moscow World Trade Center is one of the key venues for international trade events and conferences. Moscow has a vibrant art scene, from street art to classical performances and contemporary art galleries. Moscow hosts world-class restaurants, offering both Russian and international cuisine. Moscow is home to an extensive network of underground bunkers, built during the Cold War as a defensive measure against nuclear threats. Moscow's luxury hotels cater to global tourists and business executives. The Bagration Bridge is an important crossing in the city, linking the districts of Khimki and the city center. Moscow's downtown area is home to several iconic landmarks, including Tverskoy Boulevard and the Moscow International Business Center. Moscow is a city of contrasts, blending old and new, with a rich history standing side by side with modern development. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more incredible facts and insights about the world's most fascinating places. See you in the next video.